As you will all be aware, we have opened and closed a second round of soft market testing for the Manston Airport site, and I'm delighted to report we had initial interest from 5 possible investors, and 3 of those 5 filled in questionnaires to actually confirm their interest. Work starts on reviewing these 3 on Tuesday, and the results of this will be reported to a Cabinet in due course. The decision to reopen our soft market testing would appear to have been rewarded, and the UKIP administration remains dedicated to finding the right partner for Manston and remain, unlike others, open-minded as to who that partner may be.
Last but by no means least, Manston, of course it's good news that there is interest. There was comment that perhaps some people are too wedded to the solution that was there before and maybe weren't as objective as it could be. I'm going to disagree with that. I thought that River Oak potentially were a credible partner in a CPO, and I certainly think that the time that was taken to actually reach a decision, which seemed to be obvious for a very long time, that this council wouldn't actually work with them, has actually harmed the chances that the trade will come back to, the planes will come back to Manston. We've seen all the equipment being taken away, and I think the longer it stays shut, the harder it will be to reopen it. What I would like to say, though, is whether the leader can comment on whether the fact that River Oak have actually sought the DCO actually limits the opportunities of chance of the success of a CPO with any new partner. Thank you.
And finally, I don't think we'd have come to the conclusion we did if I agreed with your position on River Oak. My understanding of the process of a DCO is that while through the pre-application process, it's no impact on what may occur. Nothing will actually be affected by DCO until it has reached the point where it's been accepted by the Planning Inspectorate and is then moving forward towards the Secretary of State. And then there may be some inference on what might happen with CPOs or others. But of course, even during that period, the airport is potentially viable by anybody who's interested in doing it that way rather than through a CPO. So all options remain on the table, certainly until at least the end of this year, and the Planning Inspector suggested that the timetable that River Oak were using for a DCO was indeed somewhat enthusiastic, and I'd probably say that everybody's experience of River Oak does include some difficulty with them meeting deadlines, so I would expect it would travel a bit longer.
The CPO was mentioned yet again, and obviously this administration came to the same conclusion with River Oak as we did in December 2014. However, I do feel that you are doing the right thing by trying to find somebody, because there was widespread support for saving the airport with any of the regeneration bodies that I attended as the leader. However, we couldn't risk the council unless we had a back-to-back investor that could cover all the costs. And if we've been dealing with River Oak, the parent company, it might have been a different matter than the one that was set up on the 3rd of July in 2014, which was the problem for us. They couldn't meet our criteria. The biggest issue for us too was that the government, at the same time as Manston was closing, the government of the day were coming out in support of LID. That's a fact that's often missed by people, that the government didn't seem minded to support LID and Manston at the same time, much as we tried to persuade them.
Yes, I hear and sympathise with your comments about parent companies and non-parent companies in relation to the CPO, and I do notice that certainly as things stand, maybe River Oak has learned something from the process. I understand it's the parent company that's applying to the DCO, and if they'd done that at the time, then maybe the story would have been different.